Hi guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. My name is Austin Betha. I'm so glad to have you guys here. If today is the first time on my channel, please do well to hit on the subscribe button before you leave. Also give this video a very big thumbs up right now or at the end if you enjoyed watching it. Okay, for a split second I forgot what I wanted to say there, but we move. Okay, we move.
I saw him as being fake, trying to use the brain of three ladies. If he says that he did not understand or whatever, that's a problem that some guys have. Well, I can't blame them. Maybe they will grow and learn or whatever.
Guys, let me know so far, how have you been enjoying the reunion? Do you think that the whole essence of the reunion is being accomplished, or do you think that they're just, encouraging more enmity, they're just quarreling more, they're just, overemphasizing on how much they dislike or hate is a strong word, but dislike one another? Let me know what your thoughts are about that in the comment section. Okay, now let's get straight into the day 7, yes, episode 7 of the Big Brother Naija Level Up season reunion. Okay, and today they started off with the whole Amaka, Fina, Cheesy, just all of that. They played a clip of Fina, Cheesy, Amaka talking about the whole gist of Fina having sex with Groovy in the house. And you guys will remember this whole Fina and Groovy making out in the house or knocking in the house. The first time we heard of it was from Amaka, right? Because she was having a conversation with Chichi, and for some reason they talked about that. So basically Ebuka wanted to find out if Chichi actually told Bella, because Bella was also in the mix of things. And I would remind you guys, just in case you missed it out, yeah, so Bella was in the mix of things because Chichi had a conversation with Bella. In fact, let's take it from the very beginning, right? Amaka had a conversation with Chichi, and it was just Amaka trying to find out if something was going on between Gidifier and Diana in level 1. You guys know the house was still split up at this time, and we all know that Amaka had a thing for Gidifier, so she just wanted to know, she wanted to verify from Chichi, who was also in level 1, if something was actually going on between Gidifier and Diana. And in the process of them having that conversation, where Chichi had said no, nothing was going on and all of that, according to Amaka, Fina walked past, and then Chichi was like, what's going on between Fina and Groovy? Because I've been seeing them together lately and all of that. And then according to Amaka, she went on to tell Chichi that yes, so something is actually going on between Fina and Groovy. That when you see two of them, they are together, they are doing what couples do. That was the exact phrase, both of them do what couples do. Now, Chichi now carried that gist. Lift up, she went over to Bella. You guys bear in mind, at this point, Chichi, Bella, and Chumsy were still friends. They still had their sisterhood, whatever, so Chichi carried the gist from Amaka to Bella and look, I did not say she go and tell Chumsy, but then immediately Chichi finished telling Bella that, oh, this is what Amaka said, that they do what couples do. Bella now carried the gist and went to tell the same Chumsy that they said don't tell her, because we all know that at that time too, something was going on between Chumsy and Groovy. So it's like, okay, Bella is saying, I went to tell Chumsy, look, be careful, see what I heard, blah, blah, blah. But then again, the bone of contention here was, did I tell you they were having sex? Because Chichi was asking Bella, did I tell you they were having sex? Bella said, yes, you told me they were having sex. In fact, you told me they were. I said, madam, relax. What are you sharpening there? What was all this one? What's in the apple? No, relax. So Ebuka was like, okay, Chichi, are you saying that Bella is lying? At this point, Ebuka self now cause trouble, now that because why are you trying to go back to find out who is lying and who is not lying? They say couples do something. It must still be sex. Must still be knack. Now only knack that corner do knack. Once they just say couples do things, I've been at things couples do. On her ear antenna, it go long. Longy, it go long.
Is Bella lying?
I
yes
never
no?
said they were having sex.
Bella, she said, so basically she's saying you lied.
Ebuka, I don't lie. In fact, she even demonstrated. She was like, no.
So now the only thing couples they do be like, hello, couples, tell us in the comments. We will never couple. They never couple us up. But you people that have been coupled up, or you are in the process of being coupled up, please, is that the only thing you people do every time you are together? You people just start to sharpen pencil. Hello, Hello, tell me what's going on, because I mean I don't really understand all these. Oh no, she's lying. No, I did not say that. Like, hello, I don't understand. Ebuka went on to ask Groovy, okay, Groovy, oh, what's up? Like, how did that make you feel and all of that? And Groovy was like, well, for him, when he heard it, because Chomzy now came to tell the Groovy, you know, Bella told you something, and she did not expect you to go and tell Groovy. But Chomzy now carried the gist and went to give it to Groovy. Groovy was now like, okay, you say who told you this thing again? He was basically trying to find out more. And then when he realized that the entire source of the gist started from Amaka, he felt a certain way, you know, he didn't like it. And so he obviously had a conversation with Fina, where he had told Fina that, you know, this was what Amaka said, that we are knocking in the house and all of that. And of course, we know what happened after that. Now, in all this chaos, you know, Ebuka had asked Fina, you know, so in all these things, like, how do you feel? And she's like, well, just seeing how everything played out and all of that, the only person she feels like she owes an apology at this point is actually Amaka.
The only person I owed an apology, which is Amaka.
Because we all know how Amaka left the house. And it was basically because of how the rest of the housemates had perceived her. And, you know, they just were like, you know what, girl, bye. And that really hurt a lot of people. It hurt me. My Al Jazeera just left like that. But at the time, you know, the housemates just felt like Amaka was doing too much and just had to leave the house. But yeah, I feel like they've all moved past all of that. But then again, you know, of course, it's still a topic for discussion. And, you know, that was the reason they had that conversation, right? Now, away from that, they talked about Gidifier, Diana, Amaka, Rachel. You know, it just felt like Gidifier was just all over the place. Like, Baba was finding it very difficult to make up his mind as to who he wanted to be with. And of course, a clip was played where Gidifier was having a conversation with Adekunle, and they were basically talking about Amaka and the way she was throwing herself at Gidifier, you know, like she'd always want to be noticed by Gidifier. You know, he also made reference to the time where, you know, she would come to the living area in Towel and, you know, start shaking. Amaka did a lot of shaking, trust me. Like, I need to just really crack my head to figure out which one they're talking about. But, you know, she did that whole shaking a lot. She enjoyed being in front of the mirror and just looking at herself and doing all of that. But then again, Gidifier felt like, you know, she was, you know, coming onto him and all. And, you know, he felt like what he had with Diana at the time was stronger than what he thought he had with Amaka. And so just the fact that she was now coming onto him and all of that, you know, he did not really do that. So now Ebuka is trying to find out, like, what was all of that? Like, you could have actually spoken to this person to say, oh, look, this is who I want to be with, or this is it. Like, you didn't do any of that. Like, what was all of that about? And then, you know, he started shalayeing to us that he was overwhelmed. You know, he could have handled the situation better if he had addressed the issue, you know, with this person, you know, things wouldn't have gotten to the point where it looked really messy and all of that. He was explaining that nothing really was going on between him and Diana, which is actually very difficult to believe. I mean, I get that nothing was happening, but, you know, something was still happening. Do you get what I mean? Like, they were in some compromising positions at some point. And, you know, it was just really difficult, you know, us figuring out what exactly it was. Because 1 minute it seemed like Diana wanted to be with this guy. The next minute she's telling him, you know, I'm older than you, I'm this, I'm that. You know, like, what was going on? You know, it was quite confusing. And if there was something Amaka kept on doing, it was her asking the people involved, you know, Diana, what's going on? She'll say nothing, you know, until at some point she could not keep saying nothing. And then she opened up to Amaka and said, okay, this is it. But, you know, there was nothing at the beginning, but maybe along the line. Now, Gidifier, I asked this Gidifier, according to Amaka, you know, she had asked Gidifier and he would say, oh, nothing. But then how do you keep saying nothing? How do you keep saying, you know, nothing was going on when you're in compromising positions with like different people? And for her, the straw that broke the camel's back was the point where she figured that, you know, something was also going on between Gidifier and Rachel. And for her, it's like, you know, F this shit. Like, what is this? What is this? So Ebuka wanted to find out from Rachel, do you believe his story of, you know, not being able to handle the situation or not knowing how to go about the situation? And Rachel is like, well, for her, she wasn't buying the story because, I mean, if you knew that something was going on at the point, if you were smart enough to know or to tell us now that, you know, things were going this way, then you should have also been able to figure out how to resolve the situation instead of now coming to say, oh, it was too much for you, you were overwhelmed, you did not know how to handle it. Same thing with Amaka. Amaka wasn't really buying the story, even though Amaka is all over all that, you know, Gidifier nonsense, because, you know, today, baby girl was like, Ebuka, look at me now. Look at me. Like, I mean, I'm over that, I've forgiven him, but I just don't want to go back to all of that conversation, because if we decide to go back to it, it would just be me, digging up all the things that he did, and getting angry all over again. So for her, it's like, bye bye, I've forgiven you, I've moved on from that, been there, done that, let's just leave that in the past. And so yes, that was how they resolved that particular issue, because Ebuka had asked Gidifier, so if you were supposed to apologize to anybody here, who would that be? And he was like, well, for him, if I just carry Mike, apologize to everybody because he messed up. He actually admitted that he messed up. And for me, that was actually a very good moment, just seeing that, you realize you made mistakes and you owned up to it and just apologize. For me, that's it, that settles it. So Gidifier, we're going to consider, removing you from our blacklist, because you've been did our book. Let me go and cancel it. Okay. Gidifier is off the blacklist because he has apologized. Anyways, guys, it was time for them to talk about Chichi and Ilebaye. And for me, I'm like, why do they have to bring certain topics up? There are certain topics that are just irrelevant, if you ask me, because we don't overtalk the matter when they day house. So why do we need to talk about it again outside the house and all of that? The whole incident of Ilebaye pushing Chichi and dragging Fina to Groovy. The whole party scene, that Saturday night party where Chichi was dancing with Groovy, and then Ilebaye came, in her usual fashion of just coming in between two people that were already dancing, and then she started dancing with Groovy. And the next minute, she brought Fina to now start dancing with Groovy. Now for Ilebaye, she's like, I did not, intentionally step on you or pour any drink on you. And I do not remember going to drag Fina to now come and dance with Groovy. Do not remember. Really? Like, really? You do not remember. But anyway, whom am I? She said she did not remember, that she was tipsy and all of that. And it wasn't something that they planned. But guys, can you remind me what happened that night again? Because I know that Ilebaye had a conversation with Fina, who was seated all by herself at the party room. And then the next thing, she walks over to, Chichi and Groovy, where they were dancing, and then pulls Groovy away from Chichi, in the process stepping on her, pouring her drink mistakenly, and then the next minute, Fina and Groovy were back together. Like, guys, remind me what happened, okay? Because me no go like say I don't forget what happened that day. More than tell me what happened that day. But then again, Ilebaye is like, I apologize, and then I started hearing her call me market woman, blah blah blah. Say to say she still did the house, she for no like am. Say Chichi for no like am. Chichi now laughed and like, my anger in this whole thing is not even about the fact that you apologized or anything. You apologized, yes. But for Chichi, she just felt like it was all preempted. Like, you planned it with Fina to get me and Groovy apart, and then, pair Groovy and Fina together to dance. Like, for her, that was quite disrespectful and all of that. And then everybody is the same, but I apologize. She should have just taken the apology. I'm like, hello. Now you go tell me when to take your apology. You beg me, you go wait. Make I calm down, okay? If I accept and not be say you go beg me, come dey expect say immediately you beg me, all sins are forgiven. Hello, not be say they work, okay? Not be so they work. Now 419 go tell you say, oh, it's fine. For something they were so angry to the point that if you give them a chance, they will blow your eye. Now because you just came and said sorry, then that minute, you just expect that their facial expression will just turn back to smile, and they'll start hugging you. No, if you beg me, give me time. Okay, hello, give me time, because at that time when we say I don't invest, they come, my facial expression don't change. Hello, you not go do like this, you go down the squeeze, my muscles go down the tight, so you will give me chance, give me time, make my face rearrange, make my mind calm down. Not be say you're gonna tell me but you could have accepted the apology then. And she's like, no, let me correct you there. Let me correct you there. You will not be the one to tell me when to accept your apology. And to be honest, I stand with Chichi on that particular note. Like, don't tell me when to accept the apology. Just apologize and mean it. And then allow me do the rest. Allow me deal with my own feelings and my emotions and my expressions. Like, duh. Like, why did they even bring the topic up? Because this thing, we talked about it over and over again in the house. Apparently, there was another situation of Ilebaye stepping on Chichi with her heel shoes, her pointed heel shoes, in the whole Pepsi event. And like, Ilebaye, they're saying you major they match Chichi with you. Hello, what's the apple? Well, if you look at now, I can't believe say something there, because now why you they match again? Waiting the apple. Waiting the apple. anyways, guys, the episode ended with Ebuka asking Rachel how difficult or easy it was for her being a rider and all of that, because it seemed like we accepted Cheesy more, you know, being a rider than we did Rachel. And so for Rachel, it's like, first of all, before she even got into the house, she had no idea she was coming as a rider, and she was not told until when she was about to get into the house. Before that, she said she had stayed in the lockdown just by herself with no roommate and all of that. So for her, her mindset was already messed up. Now coming into the house, the housemates were already paired up. According to her, some of them were already choking themselves and all of that. So it was basically difficult for her to just fit in. And she also made mention of the fact that being in level 1, it was a bit more difficult because the housemates there were not particularly welcoming. They were such strong characters, and it was difficult for them to just, you know, welcome her with open arms and all of that. But then, you know, of course, Cheesy was in level 2. Level 2 was more chilled, you know, more friendly, more welcoming and all of that. So maybe that was also something that contributed. And she only started to get very comfortable after the houses got merged together. And yeah, for her, with time she got used to it, but outside of that, it was really difficult for her at the beginning and all of that. So yeah, that's where they ended it. And Ebuka told us that, of course, there were more topics to be treated, you know, more things, you know, even post-show and all of that. So basically what he was saying is that we'll continue in the next episode, okay? Let me know what you guys think in the comment section about everything that I mentioned here. If I missed out on anything, please be kind enough to, you know, add that in the comment section for the benefit of those that did not watch it. And if you're still confused as to the channel and the time, because you guys keep asking me the same question, Africa Magic Family, 10:30 p.m. Africa Magic Showcase and Urban, 10 p.m. Mondays to Fridays till they tell us that the show has ended. And please, they don't show it on Saturday and Sunday, okay? Mondays to Fridays. Mondays to Fridays, okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. If you have not subscribed to my channel at this point, please hit on the subscribe button. And yeah, I would see you guys on the next one, okay? Bye.